today. Time now, though, to check and see what's making headlines. I'm joined once again by Allison Sargent. Allison, U.S. papers focusing on a book that hasn't even been released yet, James Comey's Tell-All.
That's right. It's called A Higher Loyalty, Truth, Lies, and Leadership. It's not coming out until Tuesday, but excerpts have been leaked to numerous American media sites. The New York Daily News is calling it the Comey Book Bombshell. The left-wing tabloid, as you can see, is taking the opportunity to skewer Donald Trump on their front page today. They call him pea-brain, of course, not the green kind of pea, but the yellow kind. That's because of the revelations. One of the revelations in this book is that Trump was apparently obsessed with what they're calling the wee-wee vid, that videotape, alleged videotape of Trump and prostitutes engaging in golden showers at a Russian hotel. Donald Trump has always denied that this actually took place and said, it can't be true because he himself is too much of a germaphobe. The Hill, meanwhile, a website that covers news from Capitol Hill, they take as their headline the quote that many papers are retaining from this book that Comey called Trump untethered to the truth. They report that Comey also takes some pretty personal shots at Donald Trump in this book. He describes him, for example, as having bright white moons under his eyes, which he kind of suggests are a result of wearing tanning goggles.
And those personal attacks are subject of focus for a lot of conservative U.S. media.
Right. Fox News, in particular, is taking offense at those personal attacks and sort of using them as a way to discredit the book. They say Comey even goes so far as to question the strength of Trump's marriage to his wife, Melania. Now, Fox News doesn't actually seem to have gotten a leaked copy of the book. This article from their website mostly cites left-wing papers. They will be interviewing James Comey, though, while on his book tour in coming weeks, so that should be pretty interesting. Basically, this is only the beginning. We're going to be hearing a lot more about this book in the weeks to come.
After fire and fury, now James Comey's Tell-All. Well, Donald Trump isn't the only one dogged by scandal today. The head of the Swedish Academy has quit over handling of sexual harassment allegations.
Right, the Swedish Academy, that prestigious institution best known for giving out Nobel Prizes. This is a huge story in Sweden. On the front page of the paper Svenska Dagbladet, we see Sarah Danius, who has just stepped down yesterday as permanent secretary of the Academy. Now, this scandal has been roiling since these allegations came out in November. A Swedish paper published sexual harassment allegations from 18 women against a man who has very close ties to the Academy. The man accused is named Jean-Claude Arnault. He's actually a Frenchman who's been living in Sweden for decades. He's married to a Swedish woman. He's been nicknamed the Swedish Harvey Weinstein. That's not actually him in that photo, Will, I should say. That's one of his friends, another Academy member who has not resigned. A handful of other Academy members, though, have been resigning in recent days. And one columnist for the Svenska Dagbladet paper says it's really a tragic story, and they say they worry that the institution is never going to regain its reputation.
Well, moving over to Australia now for something completely different. A story about an endangered turtle that has been gathering a lot of attention.
That's right. Well, when you see a picture of this turtle, you can see why it's been getting so much attention. You can see there it has a really nice green mohawk. That's actually not hair, though. It's made of strands of algae that have kind of attached themselves to its head. This picture is from a paper in Queensland, Australia, the only place where this turtle is found, the May River in the northeast of the country. This article kind of buried the lead, though, because there's another feature of this turtle that's been getting a lot of attention, and that's the fact that it breathes out of its genitals. It also poops out of them, so basically it has one hole for everything. And so clearly an impressive animal that's in danger of going extinct, which is the real reason it's been in so many newspapers. It was on a list of endangered reptiles that was put out this week by the Zoological Society of London. The Guardian was one paper that ran a story about the turtle earlier, and they followed up today explaining that there are actually quite a few reptiles from Australia on that endangered species list. And they say that really highlights actually that there's sort of a hole in Australian legislation when it comes to protecting reptiles. As opposed to more charismatic animals, they say, like mammals and birds, although I would say that turtle is pretty charismatic.
Very charismatic, one hole for everything, the green hair, but there's some debate about whether that actually helps to change.
Yeah, it's interesting. The viral story about this turtle actually coincides with a lot of articles reporting on a study that showed that when people see endangered animals all over the place, it actually causes them to forget that those animals are endangered. And that, in turn, could impact the urgency of efforts that we have to save them. So they showed people pictures of charismatic animals like lions, as you can see there, also cheetahs and giraffes. And half of all participants, who were a very highly educated group, they say, didn't realize that any of these animals were actually in danger of going extinct. So basically, don't be fooled, Will. Just because you're seeing those Mary River turtles all over the place does not mean that they actually are all over the place.
Charismatic Allison Sargent with a roundup was making press. No worries, she won't be going extinct anytime soon.